Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is the final trading day of March. This is the 31st. It is also the end of the fiscal year in Japan. Welcome to the Overnight Action Report here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group. Let's wrap up everything that's happened so far this week in Asia, and it's been a decent week. You can see right now with the Nikkei, it finished the overnight session down 0.8%. And the real story here is that we saw for basically most of the month, and I'm looking at a monthly chart right now, that the stock stayed in a very deliberate range, a range that it's been in for the last 4 months. As you can see, November, December, January, February, March. Very deliberate, but on its lows. Just could not get above this 19,641, finished at 18,909. It's right on what I would consider its support level at this juncture. Obviously, the 20 and 50-day moving average on the monthly charts are pretty far away. But when you look at the daily chart, the bottom line is that Japan, it just could not get above its 50-day moving average. And so with that kind of movement, we're seeing weakness in Japan. What was notable overnight was the CPI data came out for February. It disappointed, only plus 3%. I think that bottom line is that I think there's some concern that inflation could start rising faster than growth. We also saw yen strength. As a matter of fact, taking a look at the pair overnight was pretty volatile. And you see that it's right now trading right off of its lows at 11.85 for the pair, US dollar over the yen. So we'll see if the yen strength starts to weigh on the dollar, but it did weigh on stock. So after the CPI data came out, after the yen strength started to occur, the stocks really started getting pounded towards the end of the session in Nikkei and Japan, and we're going to see if that actually translates into some more volatility in Japan going into next week. Taking a look at the Shanghai Composite, you see that it did finish up almost 0.4%, 0.38%. $12.27 at 32.2251. Now, there's a couple things that are notable here. Yes, you can watch this chart. Take a look at the chart while I'm talking, because what we saw this week was that the People's Bank of China, for the whole entire week, injected no liquidity into the markets. Now, you can look at that in one of two ways. You could say that it's confidence in the markets, confidence in the fact that there is growth and strength in the markets, or they're just keeping their proverbial powder dry, so to speak. Now, they did have a PMI, a Purchaser Managers Index, come out overnight, and it was higher than expected. It was around 51.8. It was expected to come in at 51.7. You did see, though, that net for the week, the composite was down about 1.4% for the week. So we'll watch this very closely. We've seen a slide here. It's right on its 50-day moving average. It did settle the night before below. We said watch that. It did get a settlement above it. So we'll watch this very closely going into next week. But we could see some volatility in China. That could be very important to watch going forward, especially if you're looking at the European markets as far as exposure in your portfolio. Finally, the Hang Seng. The Hang Seng did finish the week down about 1%. You could see that the fall has now triggered and challenged the 20-day moving average. That means short-term bulls in Hong Kong, they're getting a little bit concerned at this juncture. What was notable is property names as well as financials in Hong Kong with the rise in short-term interest rates over the last couple of weeks. Also concerns that there could be new lending standards, stronger lending standards as far as property purchasing. That got the markets rethinking about how hot it is actually in Hong Kong, and that put pressure on property and financial names in Hong Kong. We'll watch that one closely. And I know I said finally, but we're watching India. India has been challenging its highs. It actually settled right below. Looks like we could have some resistance here in India. There's been some positive results, financials and financials, as well as primarily financials were what was under pressure this week. But the Sensex did finish down for the week, about 0.1%. So it's been holding up. But we're going to, again, watch this very closely, folks. Okay, that's it right now for the overnight action report. We saw all the action so far. Asia did finish the week mixed, I'd say down. There's some challenges in the forefront. So there's going to be plenty of homework to do this weekend. As a matter of fact, join us on Sunday night. We're going to be doing all of the setups for next week, which will be a new trading week. This is going to be a new month. We're going to be in April. So let's see what's going to be happening. So join us then. I will be back here at 8:45 Eastern Time today. We'll be talking about all of the action happening out in Europe here at MarketStream.live.